Is this on? Okay. Hi. Good afternoon, everyone. The graduates are going to be walking out in the next minute or so, and I just wanted to give everybody a heads up that that was happening. Hat staff, technically these seats on either side of the graduates are yours, but if you are comfortable where you are, that's okay too.
please be seated. Jaden Cortez, our student body president, will open the ceremony.
Okay. Welcome, graduates, friends, and families. On behalf of the HAT class of 2021, I'd like to welcome you all here today and thank you all for coming to support us here as well as we all leave high school and transition to the next stage in our lives. We could not have made it this far without the love and support of our families and friends. Now I'd like to introduce Nayeli Rosas, our HAT salutatorian? Yes, sorry.
En nombre de la clase HAT de 2021, me gustaría darles la bienvenida a todos aquí hoy y agradecerles a todos por venir a apoyarnos mientras dejamos la escuela preparatoria y hacemos la transición a la siguiente etapa de nuestras vidas. No podríamos haber llegado tan lejos sin el amor y el apoyo de nuestras familias y amigos. Ahora quiero introducir a nuestra directora, Ms. Lowe.
Good morning. Today it is my great pleasure to speak on behalf of the faculty and staff of the Humanitas Academy of Art and Technology. Together we welcome all of the family and friends of the class of 2021. You are truly our honored guests today. Thank you for your persistence in guiding these young women and men to this moment. We are grateful to every one of you for being here today to witness and celebrate this high school graduation. Please accept our gratitude for your hard work and our congratulations on adding a new high school graduate to your family. Buenos días, buenas tardes, lo siento. Hoy es un gran placer hablar en nombre de facultad y el personal de la Academia Humanitas de Arte y Tecnología. Juntos damos la bienvenida a toda la familia y amigos de la clase de 2021. Ustedes son verdaderamente nuestros invitados de honor hoy. Gracias por su persistencia en guiar a estas mujeres y hombres jóvenes a este momento. Estamos agradecidos a cada uno de ustedes por estar aquí hoy para presenciar y celebrar esta graduación de la escuela secundaria. Por favor, acepten nuestra gratitud por su arduo trabajo y nuestras felicitaciones por agregar un nuevo graduado de escuela secundaria a su familia. This class is fortunate to have 5 senior advisory teachers who have guided them through their high school years. Nivea Alvarado, Ping Ha, Faisal Hirji, Stephen Ramos, and Rocio Rodriguez. Mr. Faisal and Ms. Alvarado will speak on behalf of the team. Mr. Faisal will speak first.
Thank you, Ms. Lowe. Thank you all of the wonderful friends and families in attendance and the many more watching at home. In addition, I want to extend a huge thank you to all of the teachers and staff members. Collectively, you have all played a pivotal role in molding and supporting this exceptional graduating class and helping them get to this very moment. I think it's fair to say we didn't anticipate our last year with you all to look quite like this. The pandemic forced us to make a lot of adjustments to the way that we all do things. And if I'm being brutally honest, it wasn't particularly easy. I think at times I was confused, frustrated, exhausted, and maybe all at the same time. And something I've realized is that when everything around you seems so difficult, you need to find ways to find joy and strength to keep going. And so what you do is you gravitate toward people that make you happy, people that reduce your stress, and people that set great examples of how to push through the hardship and still show up at your best. Well, lucky for these graduates, they had all of you to look toward, to be those people. And lucky for me, I had all of them. What excites me so much about this graduating class, beyond their momentous academic achievements, is the tremendous human beings that they have all become. This is a class that cares deeply about each other and make everyone around them better every day. I have no doubts that they are ready to take on whatever comes their way in their inevitably bright futures. Class of 2021, I can't wait to see what you all become. Thank you. I would now like to invite up another one of our amazing, spectacular, and very talented senior advisory teachers, Miss Alvarado.
Hello, everyone. So I will start by reading my speech in Spanish, and then I'll do it in English. Hola y buenas tardes a nuestras familias, amistades, maestros, maestras, personal y la clase de 2021. Qué alegría se siente de estar juntos de nuevo en nuestra escuela. Mi corazón está lleno de mucho amor por verlos a todos y a todas aquí en sus vestimentas de graduación. Nosotros siempre hablamos de este día, el momento en que ustedes recibieran sus diplomas y cruzarían el escenario. Y ahora ese momento está aquí. Cuando comenzamos a prepararnos para este momento, comencé a reflexionar y recordé algunos de los momentos especiales que pudimos compartir todos juntos. Memorias cuando algunos empezaron el programa de puente de verano en el 9º grado. La energía que cada uno trajo a nuestras competencias de asesoría, los diálogos honestos y alentadores en nuestro retiro de ACE, el talento y creatividad que expresaron durante el evento anual del Big Draw y los días de campo con la escuela entera me recordó lo que muchos de nosotros aquí en HAT amamos de la clase 2021. Nos encanta ver y ser testigos de la forma en que siempre se han mostrado apoyo el uno al otro. Una cosa que siempre he compartido cuando hablo acerca de la clase 2021 es cómo todos tienen corazones bondadosos y empáticos. Todas estas cualidades y experiencias han ayudado a cultivar el hermoso sentimiento de comunidad que se siente cada vez que estamos en su presencia. Aunque este último año y medio ha traído consigo diferentes desafíos, todos los han enfrentado de una manera admirable. Yo quiero que todos ustedes tomen un momento para reflexionar y reconocer las instancias que los hicieron reír, las amistades que se fortalecieron o comenzaron a florecer, los actos de bondad que dieron o recibieron, y por último los mensajes de sus amigos o en grupo con las fotos chistosas que les hicieron sentirse conectados y menos solos. Yo espero que cuando ustedes miren hacia atrás y piensen en este momento, puedan recordar que sí fue duro y a pesar de los desafíos que enfrentaron, todavía hubo momentos de belleza. Todos ustedes deberían de estar orgullosos de su espíritu tenaz y de todo lo que hicieron para estar aquí hoy. Por último, los dejo con unos recordatorios. Primero, Quiero que recuerden siempre que son amados, que está perfectamente bien seguir su propia línea de tiempo o sentirse inseguros sobre el futuro. El crecimiento y travesía de todos se ve diferente. Este es solo un capítulo de muchos más maravillosos por venir. Lo mejor todavía está por escribirse. Sepan que les deseo que alcancen un futuro brillante y que su familia de Hat siempre le está echando porras. Felicidades a la clase 2021. Espero con entusiasmo por ver las muchas formas en que todos continuarán prosperando. Gracias. Y ahora en inglés. Hello and good evening to our families, friends, teachers, staff, and the class of 2021. What a joy it is to be reunited and together on our campus. My heart is filled with so much love seeing you all here in your caps and gowns. We always talked about this day, the moment we would see you all receive your diplomas and walk across the stage. And now here it is. As we began to prepare for this moment, I started reflecting and remembered some of the special moments we all got to share with one another. Memories of 9th grade summer bridge, the energy you all brought to our advisory competitions, the honest and encouraging dialogues in our ACE retreats, the talent and creativity you expressed during our big draws, and the whole school picnics reminded me of what so many of us here at HAT love about the class of 2021. We love seeing and witnessing the way you have always shown up for one another. One thing that I have always shared when I talk about the class of 2021 is how you all have kind and empathetic hearts. All these qualities and experiences have helped cultivate the beautiful feeling of community that is felt every time we are in your presence. Even though this last year and a half has brought its different set of challenges, you all have faced it with admirable resilience. I want you to take a moment to reflect and recognize the instances where you found laughter, the friendships that grew deeper or continued to blossom, the random acts of kindness you gave or received, and lastly, the friend or group messages with all of the memes that made you feel connected and less alone. I hope that when you look back and think of this time, you can remember that yes, it was tough, and despite the challenges that you face, there were moments of beauty that emerged. You all should be proud of your tenacious spirit and all you did to be here today. Finally, I'll leave you all with some gentle reminders. First, I want you to always remember that you are loved, that it is perfectly okay to be on your own timeline or to feel uncertain about the future. Everyone's growth and journey looks different. This is only one chapter of many more wonderful ones to come. The best is still unwritten. Know that I wish you all nothing but the brightest future ahead and that your HAT family will always be here rooting for you. Congratulations, class of 2021. I cannot wait to see the many ways in which you all continue to thrive. Thank you. I'd like to introduce Miss Lona, our senior English teacher. I'm just going to take it. We're going to get it.
Good afternoon. Here it is. Each year, all HAT graduates write a This I Believe essay in order to reflect on and share their beliefs with their classmates. This I Believe is an international organization engaging people in writing and sharing essays describing the core values that guide their daily lives. You will hear two of these essays today, the first written by Chelsea Estrada.
Good evening, everyone. To the class of 2021, I believe we are celebrating each other today. As our time in high school comes to an end, today we not only celebrate each other and our new adventures and all our hard work we put in these past 4 years, but I also believe we are celebrating each other. 4 years ago, I vividly remember walking into HAT on the first day of school. I was extremely nervous, just like any other person would be on their first day of high school. Our first class that day was advisory. That was when we found out we would be in the same class with the same people for the rest of high school. As the day went on, we met our new teachers and new people. That nervousness we once felt was slowly leaving. The first couple of days, we were obviously very uncomfortable and awkward. But as the weeks went on, everything started to feel right, like this is where we belonged. I'm not quite sure what it was that made this happen. Maybe it was Miss Hart running back and forth chanting 2021 in hopes of us getting to the advisory spirit. Or maybe it was the perfect but very hard and somehow easy circle Mr. Boteo showed us. Or maybe it was just simply the people. The memories we've shared since our first day of high school to the unexpected last day of school in March 2020 will be the memories we find ourselves thinking about in the future. From the laughs we shared to the tears we would shed in geometry. Today we are celebrating what we have learned about ourselves in the past 4 years. We're not the same 13, 14-year-old we were back then. Now we're 17, 18 on our way to find out what is this real thing the adults kept telling us about. When we began, many of us had an idea of what we thought we wanted to do with our lives, and the rest of us had no idea whatsoever. That's the thing about high school. It taught us how to dig deep and find ourselves. It made us realize who we are as people. Some of us finally know what it is we want to do with our lives, and the rest of us are still figuring it out, and that's okay, because today is all about celebrating and figuring out our next step. At the end of today, something we do know is that all the hard work and dedication paid off. This might not have been the senior year we imagined, but it's one that will go down in history. It's one we'll remember and we'll look back on. We'll remember each other and we'll miss it. We'll remember how despite it being sad and devastating year, remember it through. We made it the most out of it, and oddly enough, it was amazing. Why? Well, because HAT kids are the best kids. Congratulations to us, the class of 2021. We made it. I celebrate each of us today, and I can't wait to see what our futures in the real world hold for us. Thank you. I would like to introduce our valedictorian, Karen Rodriguez.
Okay. Good evening, friends, family, students, and staff. My name is Karen Rodriguez, and it is an honor to be the valedictorian of our extraordinary class of 2021. Writing this speech was not easy, as it is not your typical valedictorian speech. But after much consulting with Ms. Lona, I have decided to tell you what I need you to hear over what you may be expecting to hear. Up until I got into high school, I never really contemplated or appreciated human connections and kind gestures. I never gave the value they bring into our lives a second thought. It wasn't until the pandemic hit that I changed my mind, that I longed for the interactions I would have in hallways during passing periods, or seeing familiar faces in grocery stores, that I considered these small gestures a virtue of love. I believe that love is the cornerstone of everything known to man. Every good thing, everything that makes us smile or makes our heart race with excitement, everything that makes our lives a little better. Quarantine helped me recognize that love was the root of many of our actions and beliefs as we went through one of the darkest and strangest moments in our lives. The United States had become a powerhouse for COVID-19 cases and political uproar, with death and violence looming around every corner. And yet, there were still silver linings throughout our days. When cases and panic started to rise almost exponentially, some found themselves hoarding water and hand sanitizer. I, however, did not get these supplies on time. And when I worried about my family having water, teachers reached out to me with resources on where and how to get it. I was deeply touched by how quick they were to help me despite the limits the pandemic set on us. After I managed to get water, I decided to share these resources with my community as well. Their kindness in these hard times was inspiring. Despite our isolation from the world during the months we spent quarantined, there were also many calls to action. From police brutality to immigration debates, it seemed like we as a society have never been more divided than we were at that moment. There were Black Lives Matter protests in hundreds of cities, immigration protests at ICE detention centers, and many more events of civil unrest. And while many of us may have felt helpless at the lack of physical support we could give to these causes, we accomplished much more than we could ever imagine. In the face of a pandemic, we witnessed not just the country, but the world gather and organize to fight systems of oppression. We used social media to spread awareness to issues all over the country, raise money for bail funds in support of protesters who were unlawfully detained, and organize with mutual aid to aid different communities. Many of us may not immediately consider these things to be acts of love simply because we don't know these people the way we know each other. However, in a world where hate is so rampant that some find it easy to hate someone because of their immigration status, or their social class, or the color of their skin, or simply nothing at all, we found it just as easy to love someone for no reason at all. If you look up the word love in a thesaurus, you will see that words go beyond friendship and romance. You will see words like appreciation, fondness, compassion. And although COVID-19 has put a strain in our relationships as a community, we can still see these little acts of love throughout our online classes. I'd be lying if I said I was always on task with my day planned out, and unfortunately, this can sometimes catch up to me. But in the cases where I was accidentally late to class, classmates would reach out to me to get me there. In the cases where my Wi-Fi or laptop weren't working, my friends would offer to email teachers that I would be late. These are just my experiences, but I know well that many of us have experienced acts of love and kindness from one another that we may not have considered love at that time. If we did not care, we would not have gone the extra mile in pandemic to send texts. We would not have given these nudges to go to class. We would not have sent messages to get our work done. We would not care at all, but we did. Society, as we know it, is not perfect. It has never been, and it will be hard for it to be perfect. But better is within a short distance. We can cover with acts of love. As we enter our adult life, a better world may be at the back of our head, seemingly irrelevant, but there are problems out there that will require us to be better. As we journey through one of the most alarming times in history, with climate change issues that desperately need to be addressed and violence eating up every nation, we as a whole need to be better. The first and arguably the most difficult step to take is simply to care enough to write to your representatives, to care enough to have conversations, to care enough to love. Love ultimately is not the absolute and perfect solution to these issues, but it is the cornerstone. It is a starting point. In order to create laws, we have to advocate enough for their creation. In order to invent a machine that wipes away carbon emissions, we have to care enough about the environment to make it. We have to love our earth. When this ceremony is over, the reality is that we will begin our adult lives. As your valedictorian, I face uncertainties on this myself. I am only 18 years old, just having found out how a credit score worked 2 weeks ago. However, one thing I know for sure is that whatever success I amount to will be through having love as a cornerstone for all of my actions. Ultimately, no matter where we go and what we do, love will be the cornerstone to be with our friends and family, to inspire and be inspired, and most importantly, to fulfill our dreams. To my second family, to my home away from home, to my cornerstone, to the class of 2021, I wish you, your families, your friends, love today, and I hope you carry that love as a part of your cornerstone. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Chelsea, for sharing your powerful beliefs with us. I'm grateful for the thoughtfulness you brought to your writing and your willingness to offer us a series of lenses through which we can understand this amazing transition you've experienced over these last 4 years. The 2020-2021 school year is one we will never forget. Last year, the COVID-19 crisis forced schools all over the country to suddenly shut down. Over a weekend, we had to figure out how to create an entirely online version of HAT. This year, our students had to really learn how to be full-time online students, and our teachers had to learn how to shift from teaching in person to being a remote instructor. So much of what was new and unknown for us in March of 2020 eventually became routine. Once we figured out the nuts and bolts of how to hold classes online, we also had to figure out how to keep the HAT school community going online. HAT is not just a school where you come to class, learn some things, do your work, and go home. HAT is a community. For many of you and for us, HAT is a second home. What made this school year special was the way students stepped up to participate in classes and the ways teachers created inviting online classroom environments that were unique and warm and came to almost feel like a regular classroom. Even on Zoom, we could see and feel your personalities shining through. We held our first in-person senior class event 2 days before the end of your senior year. It brought us all so much joy to see how happy you were to be together again. And when you shared tributes to your advisory teachers, each group offered profound thanks, not only to the teachers, and they are truly magnificent, but also to your classmates for creating and sustaining a genuinely caring community over 4 years. I'll be honest, you are our 10th graduating class, and you are the first class to call attention not only to the teacher who led you, but also to your peers. You are a beautiful example of what I always say, the most important aspect of the HAT community is the way we support one another to be the best possible versions of ourselves. We know that this year has not been the senior year experience you had looked forward to for so many years, but we applaud your resilience and your connection to this community of ours, even when we couldn't always see each other's faces or even hear each other's voices. This year has been painful for so many in our community, but still there have been many successes. The most important one at HAT is the graduation of the class of 2021 who pushed through to achieve that during an unbelievably challenging time. As you celebrate this remarkable achievement and take your first steps towards your next, remember, you will always be part of the HAT family. Thank you. Two of our senior advisory teachers, Ms. Alvarado and Ms. Rodriguez, will read the names of our graduates as we confer the diplomas. Thank you.
Okay. Will the back row now rise? Okay. Ivan Renteria. Ivan would like to thank his graduating class for everything and hopes he can survive being an adult. Ana Motiño Torres. Ana quiere dar gracias por su esfuerzo. Se siente orgullosa de sí misma y espera que el día de hoy ustedes lo estén también al verla graduarse. Charlie Martinez. Charlie is thankful for all the help he received and for all the teachers that never gave up on him. He would like to thank his mother, Rosie, and his girlfriend, Genevieve. Ariel Martinez. Ariel says, thank you to my amazing parents, Juan and Maggie. I'm beyond appreciative for having such a lovely, beautiful family. Thank God for guiding me to where I am today. Lisbeth López Martínez. Lisbeth quiere dar gracias a toda su familia. Dylan Loomis. Dylan would like to thank all those who have helped him out over these past 4 years.
Odin Villa. Odin would like to thank his parents and counselors for pushing him throughout his 4 years of high school. Oscar Samuel Vargas. Oscar would like to thank his mother and father for always being there for him, even during the hardest times. Angel Fernando Vasquez. Angel would like to thank everyone for helping him out. Angel Vallejo. Angel would like to thank everybody for their hospitality and generosity. Thank you for making Hat a second home and for all the cherished memories here. Alexandra Maria Tineo. Alexandra would like to thank her mom and dad for encouraging her and believing in her. Steven Ruiz. Steven would like to say, thanks thee. Natalie Villanueva. Natalie quiere dar las gracias a su mamá y a sus hermanos por apoyarla en todo, y esto se lo dedica a su papá.
José Torres. Ariani Rosales. Ariani quiere agradecer a sus padres y familia por ayudarla a llegar aquí. Sharo Michelle Huerta Reyes. Sharo quiere dar gracias a su madre y padre por todo su apoyo y por ustedes es que ella está aquí. Los quiere mucho y muy pronto les pagará lo doble por lo que le ha dado. Primeramente Dios. Jesús Huerta. Jesús quiere dar gracias a su mamá y papá por venir a su graduación. Jeffrey Gabriel Gómez. Jeffrey quiere agradecer a todos sus maestros y maestras por su apoyo y a su familia por ayudarlo a lograr esta meta. Natalie Garay. Natalie would like to thank everyone who has helped her get through any obstacles and challenges. This goes for family, friends, teachers, and staff. Samuel Espinosa. Samuel would like to thank all his dearest friends and buddies for making high school the amazing experience it was, especially this final year. Thank you guys so much. Shannon Eduardo Rosas. Shannon would like to thank the support, love, and encouragement from her mom, Miss New, Mr. Nord, Mr. Martinez, and herself. That's what helped her get here.
Genevieve Rosales. Genevieve would like to thank all the teacher aides for helping her finish her work and graduate. Jacob Rodriguez. Jacob would like to thank his mom, Sarah, and the rest of his family for being there for him and helping him to get where he is today. Meneses. Noé quiere darle las gracias a su familia por su apoyo y ánimo durante este. Estrella Martinez. Estrella would like to say thank you for all the experiences and for the wonderful memories. Araceli Magallanes. Araceli quiere que la han apoyado y motivado todos los días de su vida.
Mireya Delgado. Mireya would like to thank her friends. She sends a big thank you to her parent. She says, I love you all so much. I appreciate the years you've been in my life and hope. Ismael Cruz. Ismael would like to thank both of his advisory teachers and his friends who have made these past 4 years fun. Good luck to all. Alicia Camargo de la Rosa. Alicia quiere agradecer a su familia y a todas las personas que le han apoyado durante sus años en high school. Diana Bernal. Diana would like to thank her mom and dad for supporting her. She sends a special thank you to Miss Castillo, Miss Blackwell, and Miss Benedict. Abraham Ascona. Abraham would like to give thanks to everyone who has helped him in his high school journey. He would also like to give a huge thank you to his parents, especially mom.
Jennifer Flores. Jennifer quiere dar gracias a sus padres por siempre apoyarla cuando quería rendirse y por animarla a seguir concentrándose en la escuela. Janelle Alize Escandon. Janelle would like to thank her cat, Daisy. She's the best. Margaret Chun Leal. Margaret quiere agradecer a sus padres y familia por apoyarla. Alexa Joanna Chinchilla. Alexa would like to thank her very supportive mother and family. She would also like to thank her friends for pushing her along and her counselor. Rosa Avila. Rosa would like to thank her teachers, friends, and most of all, her family. They pushed her to make sure she reached her goals. Thank you. George Zambrano. George would like to thank everyone. Y'all have been great. Miriam Rojas Flores. Alberto Ramirez. Alberto would like to thank all of his teachers for helping him out, especially his advisory teacher. Fabiola Moreno Lopez. Fabiola is proud of herself for not giving up and continuing to motivate herself to do the best. Marilyn Morales Tecillo. Marilyn quiere agradecer a su mamá. Su sacrificio y apoyo son la razón por la cual lo logré. Gracias, mamá.
Manuel Varela. Manuel is grateful for the experience he had during high school and everyone he's met along the way. Thank you to his family for supporting him. Leslie Serrano. Leslie quiere agradecer a su familia que siempre ha estado ahí para recogerla cada vez que tocó fondo. Los quiere mucho. Damien Serrano. Would like to say, started from the bottom, now we here. Alondra Lisbeth Sanchez. Alondra would like to thank Ms. Ha and Ms. Valentina for always making HAT feel like a second home. Oscar Rojas. Oscar would like to thank his uncle and dad and all of his family for supporting him. Bryant Ramos. Bryant would like to thank everyone.
Giovanni Mijango. Abuelo Sep. Jasmine Martínez. Jasmine quiere dar gracias a su papá y mamá por todo el apoyo que le han dado. Los ama mucho. Catherine Marrufo. Catherine quiere dar gracias a su mamá por todos los sacrificios que ha hecho. Jordan Lozano. Brittany Lopez. Brittany would like to thank her parents, friends, and all the support systems at school. Jessie Ledesma. Jessie would like to thank Ms. Alvarado and his teachers for believing in him. También quisiera agradecer a su mamá por su apoyo. Irama, I made it.
Evelyn Peralta. Evelyn would like to thank her mom and dad for always supporting her. Emanuel Paredes. Emanuel quiere agradecer a su mamá y papá por siempre apoyarlo. Los quiere muchísimo. Congratulations. Andrea Jiménez. Andrea quiere agradecer a su abuela y a su mamá por estar siempre presente para ella y apoyarla en todo. She would also want to say thank you to Castillo and Miss Benedict. Marilyn Herrera Martínez. Marilyn quiere agradecer a sus padres y sus hermanos por siempre apoyarla. a sus amigos por estar siempre ahí y hacer buenos recuerdos. Los quiere mucho. Jesús Guerrero. Jesús quisiera tomar esta oportunidad para darle gracias a todos los que le han apoyado y por todo el apoyo de las maestras y especialmente de sus padres. Todo es posible con ganas. Jocelyn Diaz. Jocelyn would like to thank everyone during the hard times and making her feel like she belonged here.
Karen Rodriguez. Karen would like to give a big thanks to Quizlet and, more importantly, her family. Love y'all. Chelsea Leanne Estrada. Chelsea would like to thank her family for supporting her dreams of becoming a professional makeup artist and tattoo artist. Brianni Gallegos. Brianni would like to thank her mom and dad for the endless support that they provided, not only in high school, but throughout her life.
Love you guys!
Alondra Calderon. Alondra would like to thank her friends and family for always being there for her. Angeline Baez. Angeline would like to thank God for this great achievement, and thanks to all of the teachers and parents and her parents who have made this graduation possible.
Braulio de la Cruz. Braulio would like to give a very big thank you to his best friends Ismael and Mireya and all his other friends too for these past 4 years. Diana Nailea Corona. Diana quiere dar gracias a sus papás y a sus abuelitos por ser su motivación para seguirle adelante. Noemí Antonia Cabral. Noemí would like to thank Mom for being there at every step of her journey. She says, I love you, Mom. You are my best friend. También le agradezco a mi papá por siempre decirme, ponte las pilas. Love you, Dad. Kitsali Gabriela Ayon Arce. Kitsali would like to thank her family. Nayeli Rosas. Nayeli quiere dar gracias a su familia por siempre apoyarla en sus estudios y ayudarla a cumplir sus metas. Jaden Cortés. Jaden quiere dar gracias a su papá y su mamá. You have helped bring him up to where he is now. Y sus amigos también.
Graduates, would you please rise? Graduates, the faculty has certified that each of you has met the requirements for graduation as set forth in the district. Therefore, by the power vested in me by the governing board of the Los Angeles Unified School District, I hereby confer upon each of you the high school diploma. Graduates, please turn and face your families. It is my great pleasure to present the Humanitas Academy of Art and Technology class of 2021. Our ceremony is now concluding. We have an opportunity for you to take photographs. Students in Ms. Alvarado, Mr. Ramos, and Ms. Rodriguez's advisories will head towards Hamel Street. Students in Mr. Faisal and Ms. Haas advisories, Mr. Chavez. Parents and families, you may slowly and come down to take photographs with your students on the ends of the field. When you are ready, exit the same way you came in this afternoon. Padres y familias puedan bajar lenta y para tomar fotografías con sus estudiantes. Cuando esté listo, salga por el camino porque el entro esté tarde. Muchas gracias.